Hi guys, it's 9 p.m. and we are starting right now. So welcome. How are you guys? I'd like to give a very warm welcome to all of you who have joined us for today. So for those of you who are newcomers, I would like to also, of course, warmly welcome you to our weekly lunch actually webinar. So of course, first and foremost, thank you for taking time from your busy, week to join us. So before I get started, I just want to hear from you guys. How are you guys feeling? What have you been up to this week? Okay, let me just open my chat very quickly. Yeah, so how have you been? How have the week been for you? Have it been good, busy, stressful? I see quite a lot of new names as well, other than of course our familiar names and that I've seen. Yeah, so I'm just just seeing very quickly, I see Christian, I see Jaswinda, I see Gladys, I see Fanny. Let me see. Yeah, Patrice. So welcome guys. Okay, let's see. Who else is here? Okay, so Gladys says she had a tired day. Joseph say had a course midweek and winding down the night while watching this with BKT. So is that Takute? Okay. Yeah. So welcome guys. Okay. So I'm sure a lot of you are like me. It's just one more day until Friday. Yay. Okay. So we actually have a very fun and interactive lineup for tonight. So I'm very excited to get started and share with you guys what we have prepared, for you tonight. So for both our regulars and newcomers, right, I just want to share with you how this works because, for example, just now earlier, I think someone said that, hey, I don't hear anything, what's happening. So a webinar, it's a bit different from like maybe the usual Zoom meetings. So generally, you won't need to mute yourself because to start off with, we wouldn't be able to hear you. So not to worry, we are not able to see you as well. So how it goes is that you'll be basically seeing like myself and of course our speaker for tonight, which I'll be introducing very shortly, and then we'll be sharing with you like the topic for tonight. But the interesting thing, how we run our webinars is we always like it to be interactive. So like you can be chatting with me on the chat box right now, which is what some of you have been doing. And if you have not done so, you can always just say hi right now in the chat box. Okay, so I can welcome you. And of course, there's also a Q&A box, so if you have any specific questions that would like to ask, whether, in line with what we are sharing tonight, or maybe you just have some other questions with regards to love, dating, and relationships. So do fill it up in the Q&A box. So usually it depends really on the timing. Like if I'm able to take your Q&A during the 9 to 10 p.m. session, then I'll do my best to do it. But of course, if we have just so much to cover in terms of our content and I'm not able to like finish answering your questions by 10 p.m., not to worry. I usually would stay on a bit longer. So if you have a bit of time, you can also stay on with me, and I'll be going through with the on a Q&A. Okay, so that's the functions that we'll be using. We'll be using the chat, we'll be using the Q&A, and we'll also be using the polls. Okay, so as we go along, you'll see me putting up polls, putting up surveys. So do take part because like I say, it's not a one-way street. It's not just about me talking and talking and talking. I'm sure we all have been to one of those webinars that we're like, oh my goodness, it's like this is so boring, why am I here? So generally, that's not how we want you to feel during our webinars. Okay, so let me just look very quickly. Alan, hi Alan, hi Faith, hi Aaron, hi Jono. Awesome. Okay, so of course, if you find the webinar useful at the end of tonight's session, please do feel free to share it with your friends. Because we know that great things should be shared with others, right? So later, at the end, we also will share with you how you can actually share this webinar with your friends as well. So very quickly, I'd like to introduce myself. So of course, you can see my name on the Zoom introduction. So I'm Violet. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Lunch Actually, which is the organizer of tonight's webinar. I'm also sometimes known as Chief Cupid. Okay, so you can see these are some of the things that I do. I mean, of course, other than being an entrepreneur, I also am a certified matchmaker, and then I'm also a TED speaker. So if you're interested, you can just search me up, and then you just write Violet Lim TED, and then you can watch the TED what do you call it, the TED talk that I gave. So it's really about what dating apps and algorithms do not tell you. So a lot of people who have watched it, they have shared with me that, oh wow, they didn't know all of these things. So if you have not watched it, I would encourage you to watch it. I would love to hear your feedback on that. So very quickly about our company. So it was started about 16 years ago by my husband, Jamie, and myself. So I believe just now you would have seen the short video about how Jamie and I met. So since then, we have expanded from Singapore to Malaysia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Thailand. And I would say that, we are very excited and still very excited about helping singles find love. And our big, hairy, audacious goal is 1 million happy marriages. So a lot of people, of course, have asked me, okay, Violet, so where are you in this goal? So I would like to say that we are going there step by step. So currently, as of what we know of, we have at least 4,500 couples who have met through us. So why I say why of those we know of, because sometimes our couples are very shy, like after they met through us, they kind of want to forget about it. Then they'll tell people that, oh, we met through friends, which technically that's true because, like our matchmakers get so close to them, get to know them so well, and then we have kind of become friends. So other than, of course, doing this, I think one thing that is very important to us is really our matching philosophy. Okay, so a lot of singles, if you ask them why they are single, chances are they are going to tell you that I'm single because I've not met the right one, which is true. However, what we have found out is that finding the right one is not just about meeting the right one, because if it's just about meeting the right one, right, then of course that means like everybody who's on Tinder, everybody who's on Bumble, and whatever dating apps out there, right, they would already have met someone, right? Because like they're already on a dating platform. But finding the right one is also about being the right one and choosing the right one. So we really see it as a 3 steps approach. Like you need to be the right one, you need to meet the right one, and you need to choose the right one. And that's also the reason why we have been so excited to be doing all these weekly webinars. So of course we started the weekly webinar during the MCO, during the circuit breaker, because we really want to continue to connect with our singles, with our clients, with the community out there, right? But as we go along, we realize that a lot of singles who have attended our webinars, they have given us very positive feedback. They say that they have really learned a lot from the sharing of our consultants, our matchmakers, as well as our coaches, and also the special guests that we have invited onto our show. So that's why we are very excited to really continue with this, to be able to pay it forward, to able to share more, I would say, experiences and information and dating tips and advice with you. So of course, other than webinars, like we also provide matchmaking services, and we also provide date coaching and image coaching services as well. And I believe that some of you who have been to our previous webinars would have met some of our coaches. And most recently, we also have launched our Lunch Actually app. So if there's something you'd like to find out more, you can find us on the app stores. Okay, so that's a very quick introduction about me as well as our company. And I think the next thing I would like to do is to share with you the reason why we have actually done a survey. So we actually have been doing a survey since about 2009. So maybe some of you also have taken part in this survey. So can I know like who are the ones who have taken part in this survey? Yeah, let me know. You can type me in the in the chat box right now. Okay. So let me know if you actually, okay, so yes, it's coming in. So Brandon say me, Jonathan say me, Red Ruby say me, Asu say me, Eve. Yeah, so Catherine, yeah, so all the names are coming in right now. Yeah, so I'm very glad that thanks for, like helping us out by taking part in this survey. So tonight, we really want to be sharing with you the singles dating trends of 2020. So this is really, like I say, gathered from a survey that we have recently conducted with 3,500 singles in Hong Kong, Bangkok, Jakarta, KL, and Singapore. Yeah. So yeah, so also let us know where you're from, like while we are here, like what country are you from? Are you from Singapore, like me, or are you from KL, which is where one of our speakers is from, or are you from Hong Kong? Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so we have Eve and Jesney say KL, Wai Leong say Singapore, Aaron say Singapore, Faith say Malaysia, Gladys say Singapore, Hadrono say Jakarta, Christian from KL, Purple from Penang. Yeah, so yeah, we see, like a lot of our participants from all the different countries that we are in. Sin from Jakarta, Chris from Hong Kong. Yay, very happy. All the locations are being represented tonight. Awesome. Lawrence from KL, Hasrina from KL. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, the reason why we have conducted this survey since 2009, right, is because, as Asia's first and largest lunch leading company, we feel that it's really very important that we continue to be updated and we understand what are the current dating trends and what singles are looking out for, how are you guys feeling? Because we feel that by understanding the trends, by understanding your mindset, it will help us to provide the best service, or maybe even come up with better products to, better service our clients or help them to achieve their objectives. Okay. And of course, this year, like all of us know, there has been a huge change in our daily lives thanks to COVID-19. And from the survey results, we can also see that it has greatly impacted the singles in their dating journey. Okay, so through this survey, we wanted to find out how singles have been navigating the dating situation, the dating journey during the pandemic, and also whether it has kind of changed their mindset and their dating behavior. And of course, we also want to hear from the singles on what they think the future of dating is. Okay. So tonight's session will be very interactive. Like I mentioned just now, we'll be running a lot of polls, okay? Because of course, I know some of you have done the survey, but I think some of you have not as well. So we will kind of want to see, like the answers from our webinar community tonight. Does it tally with the 3,500 singles who have been polled? Okay, so don't be shy. As I put out a post later, do participate, okay? Because we really love to hear from you. Okay, so I think just now someone was asking me, so who is the speaker for tonight? Yeah, so I'm very happy that other than myself, tonight I'm being accompanied by one of my dating consultants from Malaysia. So
Yeah,
we
hello
have
everyone.
Jessie. Yeah,
Hello.
hi Jessie. Yeah,
Hello.
so Jessie will be giving us her thoughts, and she'll also be weighing in on the results of the singles dating trend for 2020. So, like Jessie have said hi, but to all our participants, please give the usual LA welcome by typing hello to Jessie in the chat right now. Okay, so we have Gordon saying hi, Jaswinder saying hi, Hajono saying hi, Jesney saying hi. Wow, just a lot of highs. I think Jessie is feeling very, very loved right now. Okay, so Jessie, as all the welcomes and all the hi is coming in, from our amazing participants, right? Maybe you just want to give a quick intro, because I know that some of our maybe clients, like or community in Malaysia, they will have met you, but I think a lot of people have not met you as well. So maybe you want to give a quick introduction of yourself.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you for the warm welcome. So this is my second time today for this webinar. So for those who are, for me, I'm going to introduce myself. So my name is Jessie. I'm working in Matchmaker Lunch actually in KL. So I'm one of the matchmakers. I've been in Lunch actually for the past 6 years, and I have been helping lots of singles to find true love lah. So one of my stories that's very memorable is that I actually, during the COVID situation in April, there was these two couple. I mean, this couple, one was from Doha and one couple was from KL. So because of the situation here, right, they're not able to travel and they're wanting to meet new people. So what I did was I actually encouraged them to go for a Zoom date. And so both of them, they agreed to go for a Zoom date and they got to exchange numbers after the Zoom date. And after that, they've been in touch in April. And recently, the guy came back in October and he met her in October 10. So after meeting her October 10, right, he actually sent me a message that thanking me that it was a very lovely meetup with this girl. And they're actually seeing each other now. Lah. Yeah, so this is one of the happy stories for me is because they got to meet each other during the COVID situation.
Thank you, Jessie, for sharing that. So I think one of the questions that we have always been asked by, singers or even the media, they are like, oh, it's like, so have people been dating during COVID? Do they actually go on dates? And if they do, like what would actually come out of it? So I think from Jessie's sharing, you can see that, yes, like love can happen during COVID as well. And in
Yes.
fact, like other than the couple that Jessie has just shared, we have had other couples who have met during the circuit breaker or during MCO, so like we have arranged Zoom dates or video dates for them. And after that, once they're able to meet in person, they meet in person, and after that they get together. So yes, like and I love how Jessie, like she didn't say love happens, like she said true love happens. Yes, so true love happens at lunch actually. Okay, so we actually have a lot to cover for tonight, because it was a very comprehensive survey. I think those of you who have have taken part in it, you would know that it's a pretty long survey. So I'm going to get started right away because I am afraid we won't be able to finish. Okay, so those of you who's ready to join me, to find out more about tonight's survey results, type yes. Okay, so type yes in the chat box right now. Yay! Okay, Raj, Gordon, Jane, Red Ruby, Ishu, Lawrence, Alan, Jaslyn, Kyla, Sing Choi. Awesome! Thank you, guys. Okay, so the part one, right, of what we're going to share right now is really about how singles have navigated dating during the year of COVID-19. Okay, because like I mentioned just now, like people think that, okay, is it possible, can I even date? So okay, the first question which we have for you is that, did you manage to meet other singles this year despite COVID-19? Okay, let me put out the poll right now, and then you can let me know. Okay, so you should see it right now in front of you. Did you manage to meet or date other singles this year in the year of COVID-19? Yes, let's see. Okay, so a lot of people are voting. Awesome. So you guys have been listening and you're participating. Okay, so about 60% have voted. So that's definitely the majority of people who have already voted. So those of you who are like sitting on the fence, no need to sit on the fence lah. Join the rest of us. So 65% have already voted. Okay, come on. There are more people in the room. Okay, everybody please vote. Okay, so interesting. Now about 70%, and then I'm going to close the poll. Okay, so majority of you, 56%, so slightly over half, say that yes, you have meet or date other singles this year. Okay, however, of course, 41% of you say no, and there is 3% of you who say I'm not single. So I think probably maybe you're in a relationship, you're attached, or maybe you're even married, but maybe you just want to find out more about the singles dating trend. So it's okay, we welcome you to be here. Okay, the next question I'm going to ask you is, if you have answered yes to the previous question, what platform did you use to meet other singles? Okay, so let's see. Okay, I think now of you already know how to vote. So I expect more responses this time round. Okay, so if you have answered yes to the previous question, what platform did you use to meet other singles? Okay, so come on. Let's keep the vote coming. This time the answers coming in a bit slower. Is it like because you have like many different platforms that you have used? Okay, so if that's you, right, maybe you just choose the one that you have been primarily using. Okay, I hope that helps you, because I realized that maybe some of you are thinking, you're like, hey, I also use a bit of this, I also use a bit of that. So which one should I choose? Okay, so choose the one that like I say, like the one that you use the most often or you use the most. Okay, so now about half of the people have voted. Okay, so I think like I say, like maybe some of you just still deliberating, but like I say, we have a very long survey results to share, so I'm going to just end the poll right now. Okay, so about 50% of the room say that they have used dating apps, okay, followed by 18% of the room that say dating agencies. And this is then followed very closely by true friends introductions, which is 16%, and then social media platform 11%. And I think no surprise there, lah. True work is 4%. Because I think all of us are working from home, right, during this time. So I think it's quite challenging to maybe, like date through work. Okay, so I think that makes sense. Okay, so I want to review the answers from the survey results. Okay, so what we have found out during the survey is that we found out that, as you can see on your screen right now, right, that a lot of them are similar to what you guys have shared. So a lot of them have used dating apps. So for men is 72%, women is 75%, and then for women, dating agency is at 46%. However, for men, social media is actually the next highest. And then the third one, which is also the one that you guys have highlighted, which is true friends, so friends introduction. Actually, I'm very curious. How did your friend actually introduce you to friends during the the MCO as well as circuit breaker. Hey, come share with me your story in the chat. So how did they introduce you? Is it like, you know, they did a join Zoom conference and then like, you know, send both of you the link and then ask you guys to connect? Or what did they do? Or they're like, hey, you know, my friend is single, you know, like since now you don't have anything to do at home, you know, since you are working from home, maybe you want to give my friend a call or you want to send a WhatsApp to my friend. So how did your friends actually introduce you to other singers? You know, those of you who say that you met through friends introduction. So that's 16% of you. Okay, so let's see. We have Aces here who say group WhatsApp. Okay, so that's what I guess. Okay, so my guess was not bad. And then Ellen say group chat first, then exchange number for private chat. Makes sense. Gordon say I meet someone before circuit breaker. Understand. And then Raj say we have a work WhatsApp group. So through COVID lockdown, all of us very lonely and can't travel. So as a result, romance flourish. Makes sense. Esther say video call. Then I don't know how to pronounce your name, but say capo with friends first, okay? And then Patrice say Line group, okay? So maybe they don't use WhatsApp, but they use Line. Nice. Okay, so I think, you know, like definitely from your responses as well as from the survey results, right? I'm not surprised that the highest channel that has been used, you know, like during this situation is really through dating apps. Okay, because I think at the end of the day, right, like dating apps is one of the things that people can use during the lockdown, right? Because you can't like go and meet new people through events, you know, like physical events, and dating apps is something that's very convenient. Okay, so the next thing is that we really want to find out from you, like how many dating apps have you actively used and have profiles on? Okay, because I think a lot of you have mentioned that you are using dating apps. Okay, but how many dating apps do you use and have profiles on? Okay, so we are going to ask the both the gender differently. Okay, so we are going to start asking the ladies first. Okay, because it's always ladies first, and then we will ask the men. Okay, so for this question next, okay, only the ladies will answer. Okay, so guys, don't worry, you get your chance in the next question. Okay, so I'm going to launch it right now. Okay, so the question is, okay, for those of you who have mentioned just now that you have been using apps to meet people during circuit breaker or during MCO or during lockdown, like, so for the ladies in the room right now, like how many dating apps do you actively use or have profiles on? Okay. Okay, this one very decisive. The answer is like super decisive. Okay, so I just give you a couple more seconds and then I'm going to close it. Okay, so those ladies who have not voted, come on, please vote because we want to hear from you as well. Every vote counts, okay? So yes, please vote. We want to hear from you. I give you a couple more seconds and then I'm going to close the poll. Okay, I'm going to end the poll right now. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you the answer, okay? Because I don't want this to affect what the guys say. Okay, so I need to grab my notebook and also my pen. Then I can write down the answers of what the ladies say. Okay, just give me a moment. And then... Okay, now the guys, you all get your chance now, okay? So now we're going to ask the guys. Guys, what about you? How many dating apps do you actively use and have profiles on? Okay, so we have already heard from the ladies just now, and now we want to hear from the guys. Okay, come, guys, come on. Let us know. Okay, the guys are voting very quickly. Okay, so I just give you a couple more seconds to hear from the guys. Okay. Guys, come on. I think there are more guys in the room. More of you are there. Don't be shy. Please vote. Give you a couple more seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the results right now. Okay, so for the ladies, very decisive, like what I've said just now. 59%, so that's like the majority, right? Like almost 60%. Okay, maybe we let the guys guess. Okay, I let you all guess in the chat. Okay, So guys in the chat, let me know. So I've already said that 59% of ladies all choose this answer, okay? So what do you think the answer is? What do you think the ladies choose? Okay, so all the guys are now answering. Okay, let's see. So Jing Long say A, Hajono say 2. Okay, Jing Long you means 1. So Jing Long say 1, Hajono say 2, Aaron say 2. We have 2 Aarons in the room. Both the Aaron say 2, Ishu say 1, Gaius say 3, Lauren say 1, Sunny say 3, Junian say 1, Gordon say 1, Joseph say 2, Alan say, wow, Alan say 5 or more. Interesting. Benny say 2. Wow, interesting eh. Not many of you got the right answer. The right answer is actually 1. Interesting, right? So this is for the ones who are in the room, okay? This is the ladies who are in the room. That's what they say, okay? So you all want to see what the ladies in the survey say? Yeah, maybe we can show the results of what the women in the survey say. So is it a match? Yeah, so it's a match, okay? In fact, like the ladies in our room, right, voted even higher. So most women say that they use one dating app, okay? So for the men, as you can see in the survey results, actually 74% of men are using 2 or more dating apps. Interesting, huh? So same thing for our post tonight. We also have quite a lot of men who's also using 2 or more. But actually tonight's crowd, right, like quite I would say the number of men who are using just 1 is higher than the survey. So 35% of men say 1, 33% say 2, 21% say 3, and then so on and so forth. So for ladies, right, ladies, are you all surprised by the results? Like what do you think? Are you surprised that like women actually usually use 1, and men actually use 2 or more? Yeah. So ladies, maybe you want to share with us your thoughts in the chat right now. Okay, so at the same time, I also want you to share with us, right? Like, how many dating apps do you think that men and women should be using if they want to meet someone with the intention of developing a romantic relationship? Okay, so what do you think? Like, now knowing what the men and the women are actually using, right? Like now, what do you think? Like, how many dating apps do you think both men and women should be using? Okay, so while you're all voting, right, I'm looking at the chat. So we have Kyla who say no, not surprised. Kyla is not surprised that women generally just use 1, but men generally use more than 1. Jane also say not surprised, then she put smiley face. Yeah, okay, so let me see. Okay, quite a number of you have already voted. Interesting. So I think now knowing, like the results, right? Okay, I'm just going to give you a bit more time and then I'm going to end the poll. Okay, so quite equal for 1 and 2. Okay, so it seems that the consensus is that maybe use 1 or maximum 2. Okay, 82% combined say 1 and 2. So if just for 1 is 42%, 2 is 40%, and then 3 only 9%, 4 is 1%. And then, like when it came to 5 or more, download as many apps out there as possible, it jumped up a bit to 8%. Okay, so I also want to check with Jessie. I want to hear from Jessie. What do you think, Jessie? Do you think like it should be 1 or 2, like what a lot of our participants in the room are saying right now? Or do you think it's maybe like the minority who have said like 5 or more, the more the merrier? Jessie, so what do you think?
Thank you, Violet. So I do agree with the audience that to pick the answer that download as many apps as you want to, because not all singles are using the same apps, and some that tend to be more popular apps, and some apps are more popular than the others. So if the more apps that you download, then there's more possibility to meet more people. As dating is a number game, the more people you meet, the higher chances you do get to meet the right person. So having said that, right, I also believe that it's also overwhelming if you have too many chats and you're talking to so many people at the same time. So it would drain out the energy in you as well. So what I would suggest is that perhaps when you are actually going through many apps, it's also good to actually do a good filtration in terms of looking through their profile and see what matches you and their interests, hobbies, so that you'll be able to select the more compatible profile instead of just swiping on everybody that swipes your way lah. So yeah, this is what I would suggest.
Okay, thank you, Jessie. And I think definitely I understand why some of you say that you would only use one or maybe maximum two, because I think of course like it is not how would I put it? When you first start swiping, it seems very fun, right? But after a while, it can be very tiring. And of course, if you are swiping and chatting on so many different apps at the same time, it can get very draining lah. So I can understand where you're coming from, why you say that you prefer to just focus on one. And then we also have someone, JC here, who say that maybe it's because of the term actively using, like maybe some people, they have more than one, but they prefer to stick with the one that works better. And then we have Issue, who say that talking to more than two quickly becomes a rabbit hole. And then we have Bluebell, who say too many dating apps means we got rejected from too many platforms. Okay, I think maybe I just want to share with you something interesting. So many years ago, right? Like we actually acquired another dating agency in Singapore. So of course, like we started Lunch Actually, and then there are also like competitors in the market, right? So eventually, like some of our competitors, which also become friends, because honestly, this industry is very small, and like I always feel that rather than having a very competitive and like go and kill everybody kind of mindset, I prefer to have like a abundance mindset. Like if we all work together, we actually can reach out and help more people. So as a result, like we do know all the people in the industry. But anyway, so there was this particular company, they were doing really well, but the founders eventually, they just felt that maybe it's time to move on, because they have other interests, and then they wanted to sell the company. So anyway, so we bought the company. So at first I was thinking to myself, right, that probably a lot of the members are duplicates. It's like how many singles are there in Singapore, or it's like probably I'm thinking like a lot of the people, they would join like multiple companies, right? However, it's very surprising that the overlap is very, very small. In fact, I think the overlap was maybe only like 10 or 15% maximum. So I think what I'm just trying to illustrate here, or the point I'm trying to make here, right, is what Jessie have said, that different apps really would have different singers. So like and it's also proven, right? Like for example, the ladies, they say that they only use one app. So if like let's say you only use one app, you might not end up meeting like someone who could be a very suitable person for you. So I understand that it can be very tiring, it can be very draining to be using multiple apps, but I think maybe you might want to widen your choices, and maybe rather than just focusing on one, you might want to use a few more, because like I've mentioned from my past experience, it's like, wow, it's so interesting that there's really not many overlapping when it comes to the singles who actually join the different agencies. Okay, so the results that we have shown just now is actually focused on the singles in Singapore, but now we also want to share the results for all the different countries in Asia as well. Okay, so you can see that generally it shows the same trend lah, that not just Singapore but in all the other countries, right? It's the same. Like women are generally using one app, and then men are using more. Okay, I think maybe we do not have that slide here, but but not to worry. Yeah, I think I just want to share with you that that's the case. Okay, so of course, when it comes to dating apps, right? The next thing, it's also unfortunately, when it comes to dating apps, there will also be scammers. Okay, so maybe like now we want to find out from you, right? If you have been using dating apps, like have you encountered scammers or fake accounts? Okay, so let us know. Wow, okay, so a lot of you are voting right now. And again, it's very decisive, the numbers. Okay, so I think while we wait for the rest of the room, maybe you all can let us know that if you have, which is actually quite decisive, okay, what happened? You know, how did you know they were a scammer, or how did you know that they were a fake account? Like, what alerted you to that? Or was it very obvious? Or you know, like, did you kind of think that they are real people or they are genuine people, and only, you know, like maybe after chatting for a couple of days only you found out? Like, what was your experience? Okay, so let's see. Alan say 90% are scammers. Wow. Okay, like Alan, why do you say that? You want to share with us like what happened? Sin say sweet talk. Okay, so I think what Sin is saying that maybe generally like genuine daters, you know, they don't sweet talk you so quickly. You know, they want to get to know you a bit better first. So maybe immediately they start sweet talking you. Uh, and then Sunny say the scammer was using Joanna So profile photo. Oh, okay lah. So probably because they are using a celebrity photo, so very quickly you know that it's a scammer, right? Okay, so then another user here say too good to be true profile and photos. Okay, so when you say too good to be true, do you mean the person looks very handsome, very pretty, or is it the profession is very good? What do you mean by that? And then Jasny, very good. Jasny brought up a very good point here, which I always share with singers. Checked on image reverse, and then there are many multiple profiles. Okay, so just a quick tip for our singers out there. You can just Google, you know, like reverse image search. Okay, and then there are like quite a number of things that you can use lah. Okay, and from there you can just upload the image, and then you can see where has this image been found. And like what Jasny have said here, right? If there are multiple profiles that have come up, chances are, you know, it is a scam. And then Zoom user say full of fake photos. Purpose say never want to share video. Okay, makes sense, right? Because if they are a scammer, then they use someone else's photo, then they cannot show video, because how are they going to match their photo with their real face? Bernie say catfish. Yeah, so you know, catfish is really like using fake photos and things like that. Visumu say they avoid questions about themselves, love bombing. Sin ask for money after short term. Yeah, definitely. This is a huge red flag. So maybe Sin, you want to share like what is the reason that they ask you money for? You know, is it like yeah? So maybe you share, then I can talk a bit more about that. Then issue say you know, shift to some kind of marketing. Okay. Yeah, so I think issue maybe that one might not be scammer. That one just might be people using dating apps to do more business, like be it like selling insurance, selling property, or MLM. Lynn say, you know, also the photo is too beautiful. You know, Alan say many ask you to set up investment account. Okay. Yeah, so like I say lah, this could be not really scammers, but people who are just using dating apps to get more business. Okay, so a lot of you have shared, so I might not be able to answer, to read out all of this. Let me see. Yeah, Sin says suddenly business in trouble and asking for financial support. Yes, definitely, Sin, that is a very common way that they ask for money. Or some would say that, you know, like their mother, their auntie, or you know, sister is sick, you know, need money and things like that. And then Esther say, you know, some of the scammer will ask you to buy something. Okay. Okay, so definitely, you know, like we can see that a lot of you have different experiences, and you know, based on the sharing of our participants tonight, right? You can see that encountering scammers and fake accounts on dating apps is definitely something that's very, very real. Okay, so maybe now I just want to hear from Jessie, right? So Jessie, I think you have prepared a lot of great tips for our singers tonight. So, you know, why do you think there's a rise in scammers and fake accounts nowadays? And what do you think our singers should do if they suspect that they are talking to a scammer?
Okay, thank you, Violet. So I think scammers tend to cheat people who are vulnerable. So that's why it's very common to hear of elderly people who getting scammed by scammers pretending to be calling from the local bank and asking for their bank one-time password or PIN. So or people who are getting once in a lifetime kind of investment. So I guess likewise singles are also being targeted by scammers because they know that they're lonely during this pandemic and looking for singles who are also serious and looking for love. So scammers will be doing what they know how to prey on the vulnerable singles. So while there's an increase in dating apps using during this pandemic, right? There's also increase in scammers, so which is very scary. So let's say if we suspect that we're talking to a scammer, there's 3 steps to be done. One of it is to ask for a video date. So a scammer usually claims someone else's identity. So if you ask for a video date, right, and if the person whom you're talking to do not want to have a video date, then that would be one of the signs. Second thing would be to, as what one of the person mentioned, Jasmine mentioned that run a reverse image search on Google using their profile pictures. So this will also let you know if the person's profile picture is true. And the third one is to suggest to meet up the person if you can. So if the person is generally single and there are no restrictions on going out during the pandemic, so it'd be good to ask them to meet up in person to get to know him or her lah. So the lastly is never to give up bank details, transfer money, or send compromising intimate pictures of yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jessie, for that. And I totally agree with Jessie. Asking the person for a video call or even a phone call is really helpful because if they are a scammer, like they probably would not agree to this. So I have this friend, who have been chatting with this person online whom she has met from a dating app, and the person say that he's from Australia, he's Australian. However, when they started talking on the phone, and then she was like quite surprised because it ended up he didn't have an Australian accent. However, he actually had an African accent. So immediately, that was a red flag for her. And she's like, oh, okay, this is probably a scammer, right? So, and of course, most importantly, like what Jessie had mentioned just now, do not share personal information and do not send money to anybody that you have never met before. Like, it doesn't matter what their sob story is. I'm sure, they would have people that know them better who would be able to help them. If you have not even met them before, how can you actually send money to them, right? Okay, so the next part where we would like to cover, next is actually what are the top 3 things that you actually look for, when you're looking for a partner, or like what are the top 3 things that you actually look for in a match? Okay, so I'm going to just send out the poll very quickly right now. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, so this one is for ladies first. Okay, so we just want the ladies to answer this question. So ladies, what do you think? What are the top 3 characteristics that are most important for you in your date? Okay, so let's see what all the ladies say. Okay, so meanwhile, yeah, so I think the challenge for the Zoom poll, right, is that you can only choose one. So I guess maybe go with the one that you okay, so yes, this is a bit challenging because we can't Oh, okay. Actually, Christina just reminded me. The question is not what I've asked you. The question is, what are the 3 characteristics that are most important for men in their date or match? Okay. So I actually have given you all the wrong question. And then so some of you are like very confused right now. Hey, I thought Violet asked this question. How come the poll is this question? Sin say, haha, thanks, Sin. You also have a sense of humor like me. Okay, never mind. Sorry, ladies. I think we just have to ignore the results for this particular poll. Yeah, so Asus is not the question that's the mistake, is because I read it wrongly. Okay, so okay, never mind, I'll just end it right now. Okay, so I'm going to share with you, like the poll results. Okay, so I just want to share with you the poll results on what is stated, as the 3 characteristics that are most important for men. Okay, so this is what the man said. Okay, yep, so let's see what the man said. Okay, so the top 3 things that I look out for in a date. Okay, these are the top 3 things that men have said. Okay, so as you can see, age is 65%, body type is 61%, and 33% actually say whether or not they want kids. Very interesting. So what do you guys think? I mean, like not guys, I think ladies. Okay, I think maybe ladies, are you surprised by the men's dating preferences? And if you surprised or you're not surprised, let us know in the chat. Why are you surprised or you're not surprised? Okay, so Jane say not surprised. Jasny say nope, not surprised. Red Ruby say not surprised. Okay. So that's quite interesting. So it seems that all our ladies, they are like not surprised. In fact, Kyla say not at all. Okay. However, we know that we also have our participants from other countries as well, right? So what we have realized that are slightly different for the answers in men in Indonesia and Malaysia. So for these two countries, the answers actually one of the top three answers, right, is actually religion. So for men in Indonesia and Malaysia, like religion is definitely one of the things that are more important for them. Okay, so next is, okay, now I get it right already. So now for the guys, you all can do it the right way, okay? Not the wrong way that I told the ladies just now. Okay, so guys, okay, so the poll is out right now. What do you think are the characteristics that are most important for women in their date or match? Okay, so you can take part right now. Yeah. So what do you think the women would choose? Okay, so okay, men, come, hurry up, hurry up. We don't have much time. Let us know what do you think are the characteristics that's most important for women in their date or match. Okay, so since we are running out of time, I'm just going to close it very quickly. Okay, last call, last call. Those of you who have not put out your answer, please put up your answer. Okay, I'm going to end the poll right now. Okay, so men say that they think that for women, two of the ones with the highest number of votes are very interestingly is age and body type. Interesting. Okay, so let's review the answers from the survey. So what is most important to women? So age, so those of you who chose age, you got it right. Okay, so that's one of the ones. Income level is actually something that is quite important for ladies, and education level is actually quite important as well. So I think it's quite interesting, like quite a lot of guys say body type. Interesting. So the guys who said body type, right? What do you think? Like, what was the reason you actually say body type? So Alan say, age 100% confirm. Okay. Yeah. So for the guys out there, what do you all think? Any surprises there, or you actually you think that no surprises there? You think you have expected these answers? So let me know in the chat. Okay. So like I say, we have so much content tonight, right? I have to skip through so much to come to the part 3, which is the future of dating. Okay. So I think definitely COVID have changed the way that we date, and then we have asked them a lot of questions. We have asked the singles a lot of questions. What do you see as the trend that have come out of the pandemic? Like how do you think this will impact the way that we date? So Jessie, I think you want to share some insights with us on this topic.
Okay, thank you, Violet. Yeah, so for sure, the COVID, we have seen an increase in dating apps and adding the video calling functions and offline agencies setting up video dates for their clients as well. So I believe virtual dating will stick on for a while, even after the pandemic is over. So especially for people who are busy with work and also for people who are living in different cities. So I personally have arranged hundreds of virtual dates for my clients, and they love it. So at first, I think when the pandemic started, and we just started CMO in Malaysia, they were a bit hesitant about having their video dates because it's totally a new concept. So, but prior to COVID, we've always arranged face-to-face dates lah. So, however, I think once they gave it a try, they love it. And some of my clients even spend 3 to 4 hours on a video date.
Nice. Thanks, Jessie. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard that as well. I know that, a lot of people initially, they are very hesitant. They are like, oh, it's going to be very boring, like it's going to be very awkward. And then like what Jessie have said, right? Well, once they started, they're like, wow, this is really fun. And then they end up talking for hours. Okay, so on that note, I want to ask all of you, have you tried video dating before? Let us know right now. Okay, this one easy question. Okay, come on, guys, let us know. Okay, so answer. And then while you are answering, we have JC here who say, haha, you can do part 2 of this for the other questions you have skipped. Interesting question. Thank you, JC. Okay, come on, guys. Please vote. Time is running out. Yeah, quite a lot of you have voted. Hey, thanks for the support. Come. Let's get to 70%. We're already at 66%. Yeah, 69. Okay, 70. Okay, I'm going to end the poll right now. Wow, so good. Maybe because I said that of you continue to vote right now, 72 already. Very good. Okay, so 21% said yes, I have. Okay, very good. However, 47% say no, I've not. Wow, actually, that's quite a big number. However, the good news is 32% say not yet, but I'm willing to try. Yes, I think that's great. You know, it's always good to try new things. So if you see the results of the survey results, right? Okay, you can see that actually quite a lot of people have tried out video dating. So in fact, 65% of men and 49% of women say that they have either tried video dating or they are willing to give it a go. So I think very similar to what you guys have shared here as well. So maybe those of you who say that not yet but I'm willing to try, right? Maybe you can share with us why you want to try, or maybe those of you who have tried out, you can share with us like what was the experience for you, like what do you like about it and what did you not like about it. Yeah, so let us know. So the other thing that we have found pretty interesting, right? It's also the reason for men and women when it comes to video dating. So I thought like men and women think so differently. It's like the men say, oh, like why I want to try video dating is because it's fun, like I can experience something new. And then they say it's easy to arrange. Then for women, right? Well, women very focused on efficiency. So they say time efficient, no need to spend time commuting. Like I think now we also say why we want to work from home, right? We say, oh, work from home so much easier, no need to commute, have to spend so much time, like driving, taking the bus, taking the train. And women also say it helps me to filter out the people that I want to meet in real life. Yeah. So as I look at this, Sunny is also saying like, yes, good in eliminating scammers. Uh, Acer say willing to try video dating because scared of COVID. Makes sense. Yep. Okay, so what else did Singer say about video dating? So quite a number of things. Like 52% of men and 50% of women say that video dating is a great alternative and definitely here to stay. And of course, like 70% of men and 65% of women say that they would do video dating again in the future. So I think as all of you can see, especially those of you, like how many percent of you are 47% of you who said that no, I've not tried out video dating, right? You really might want to consider, because I think definitely this is something that more and more people are looking to do. Okay, so I think let me see. Like wow, like time is really running out. I just want to see whether I can answer like maybe one or two questions. And then we have Natalie who also say video dating sounds like fun and is efficient. Yeah, exactly. Like I think that's what a lot of singers have said as well. Okay, let me look through the questions very quickly. Um, Let me see. Wow, very long the question. I think I can only read a short question. Okay, so maybe Jessie, you have arranged many video dates. I think this question is something you can definitely help our participant with. So, since during this situation, we cannot meet in person, right? So that's why we talk about video dating. So, Jessie, maybe you can share, right? How do you usually help your clients, to make video dating more fun? Because I think a lot of people, when they think of video dating, they get very concerned. They think that it might be very weird or awkward. So how do you help them to actually dispel this myth?
So normally like video dating, right? Normally you just ask them try to be themselves and then try to share about themselves. That's something that they're not able to share about themselves when they're face-to-face dates lah. So like for example, one of it is that one of the most memorable video dates I have is that this client I have, a female client, where I arranged a virtual date for her. So she told me it was a very, very enjoyable date because she ended up talking with this guy on video for about 3 hours. And the most memorable part is that the guy actually showed her a sunset view from his balcony. So both of them got to enjoy a sunset view together from his balcony, which she found very sweet as well lah. So I guess it's something very good about video call because you get to show your date something different get to show them something different from your side. And you get to be creative also and show your dates certain things about yourself. There's this client who also played the piano for her date as well. So yeah, so it's something different because it's more personalized and you're more comfortable at your own home and you get to show more things about yourself lah.
Yeah, I think Jesse, you brought up many good points. Like, for example, obviously, if you go on a normal face-to-face date, right, like you definitely cannot suddenly end up playing the piano. Yeah, so because like you say, this lady, she's at home, and then obviously her piano is there, and then like you are able to really show different sides of yourself. And I think something that you can also play around with is like, for example, Zoom virtual background. Like, so I think Jesse, maybe you can also share like some of the conversation starters that we usually maybe share with our clients that they can use, when it comes to video dating.
Some of them will be asking, what I'll ask them is to ask them what do they do during the pandemic, and what is the favorite pastime, like since they're at home, right? What do they normally do, and what are the dishes that they have learned, or maybe they can share their experience on what have they been up to aside from cooking, and also maybe can share more about their personal experience before the what would they do after the COVID, what would they want to do, and yeah, so a lot of people will actually ask their dates on what would they like to do after the pandemic. So it's something to look forward to.
Thank
Mm.
you, Jesse. Okay, so we have some comments from our audience. So Alan say, I need to find a nice wallpaper for my room. And then Sin say, my apartment is too small and not that presentable to show during video call. Sin, that's why we have virtual background. Okay. Yeah, because I actually do all my Zoom webinars in my room, and like I have children and my room is like not that neat, okay, so not that suitable to be shown on a Zoom webinar. So I think not to worry, like I talked a bit about it just now. Having a nice definitely background, Zoom background works. You can put things that are meaningful to you, and I think that's a great conversation starter as well, because like let's say you put a very nice scenery, or you put like a very nice travel destination. That's also a great conversation starter when you're doing a video call. Yeah. So let me see. Bluebell say Bluebell is very cheeky. Bluebell say, but I might look too rich for the guys. And now guys, they say they don't mind how much the girls earn. Yeah. So I think Bluebell, that might actually work in your favor. Issue say lighting is so important. I agree. I totally agree. And please, like if you're going to be doing video dating, please invest in a ring light. Okay, I can't show you my ring light right now because my ring light is behind my my webcam. So having a ring light, it really just helps to brighten up your face. And like, I mean, we don't want to be looking like at someone, like everything is so dark, and especially if you're going to do your video date at night, right? Like you can't see the person's face. Okay, maybe some of you say it's very romantic, okay, but no lah. Okay, so if you want to do video dating, you can consider using a ring light. Okay, and then we have Gladys who say, doing video dating is good, but at least can see the person face to face and see whether the person is real. Totally agree. I think it's important to meet in person. I think video dating is just one of the ways to be able to connect with someone, especially during this COVID situation. But ultimately, dating is still an offline activity. So that's very, very important. Okay. Okay, Lily is very cute. So Lily, very sweet. She say, my face like roti canai when using online platform, not so good for first impression. So Lily, I think it's all about contouring. Okay, so just drop us an email. We actually have our image coach, our date coach. We are very happy to give you some pointers, on how to make your face look less like roti canai. Okay. So thank you guys for your great participation tonight, and also like giving us a lot of great insights. Like we are coming to the end of tonight's webinar, but before you go, I want to share with you that we always have a special gift. So tonight's special gift, for those of you who have mentioned just now, hey, Violet, there are so many interesting things, and then we didn't have time, like, and then things are cut short. So not to worry, because tonight's webinar gift is actually, we want to share with you the entire booklet, the results of our dating survey. Okay, so if you'd like to have a copy of the booklet of all the answers, of the dating survey, like what we have actually put in the booklet. So it's a very nice booklet with a lot of awesome illustrations, done by our wonderful designer, Yasmin. So yes, you can just go to the link that Christina have just put up right now. So of course, you'll be given this booklet where you can find out more about what singles are thinking. And you also, of course, be entitled to a complimentary dating analyst session as well. So please do that. And I also want to share with you that next week we are going to be having another webinar, of course, because we have a weekly webinar. And next week we are going to have with us Celestia Faith Chong. So she's an entrepreneur, she's an influencer, and she was also Mrs. Chinatown International in 2018. So she will actually be sharing with us her personal story of how she actually went through a very difficult divorce, how she got back into the dating world. So I'm very excited to have her with us because I believe that it's going to be an inspiring and I would say motivational session, for us to really understand how she went through that. Because I think a lot of times, you guys have shared with me, it's like, some of the challenges that you might have, maybe some of the baggages that you might have from previous relationships. So do sign up for the webinar. You can just go to lunchactually.com/webinar. And for our friends from Indonesia, so I saw that some of you have mentioned just now that you are from Indonesia. We also have a special webinar for you. So it's going to be in Bahasa Indonesia. So of course, even if you're not from Indonesia, but you understand Bahasa Indonesia, you are most welcome to join us. So it's going to be about how to maintain your mental health during the pandemic. And it's going to be by a certified clinical psychologist. Okay, so you can also sign up at lunchactually.com/webinar as well. So it's now officially 10 o'clock. And as all of you know, we always start on time and end on time. So I just want to get everybody to give a very, very big thank you to Jessie, who have joined us for tonight. So thank you, Jessie, for joining us tonight for the webinar. Thank you for the awesome advice. Thank you for the great tips. So the rest of you, if you are okay to stay on, I am happy to, answer some questions that you might have. Maybe, you are quite surprised with some of the results, or maybe you have some thoughts about it, you have some feedback about it. So I'm happy to stay on for a while to answer any questions that you might have. And I also will go through the Q&A to just see if you guys have any questions.